And well, welcome to the show. Uh Folks. We're well, I wish I could say that we were here for a that we had better news, but uh we have some unfortunate news to share with our audience uh tonight. And well, there's no other way to say this, but
If you
my
want, I don't mind saying it, Sam.
well, I don't mind saying either. Um we we could have done like a coin toss for this, but whatever. My co-host and dear friend and brother in arms, Max Sand, uh passed away last week. And no, this is not an elaborate bit. This is unfortunately very real. And that's partially why there was no show last week, and no show on Monday. Uh, we just needed time to process things and kind of figure things out. Maxine and Morpheus are here, and we have other friends of the show that will be joining us shortly and on tonight's show. But Maxine, I mean, the floor is yours. I'd ask, you know, how you're doing, but that seems like an incredibly stupid question to ask. So,
It's okay to ask though. That's pretty much it's pretty much what I keep getting from people. I keep getting the "I'm so sorry for your loss. How are you doing?" And honestly, I don't know how I'm still functioning right now, but I am. It completely took me by fucking surprise. Um, the a good thing is that he wasn't alone because I was with him when it happened, thank God. But it also kind of traumatized me a little bit. But I'm trying to keep it together and keep going because I know that's what Max would want me to do. You know, I gotta take care of our boy, and I mean, there's this stuff that has to keep going too. Because I know that even though he's gone, there's no way that he would want any of this to stop. So
yeah,
I knew we had to do this.
well, I appreciate it. I just want to state, like, for the, for everyone too, when Maxine, shared the the news with me, like, I don't want to go into like too many specifics, but like obviously my first thought was for, Max and how much I'm gonna miss him, but also like for his family. And again, my condolences. And I am sorry for your loss. Um, my immediate thought after that was, you know, where's the direction of the show? And Maxine almost immediately said that she wanted to do a tribute show for Max. Uh, which after talking on it, we all thought that was a really good idea. We do have friends of the show joining us. Um, but before we do that, I just kind of want to share with everyone, if I may, why I chose Max as my co-host when I did, because there were a lot of friends of the show who loved Max and loved him. There were also those who, even if they liked Max, they didn't understand his antics because he was like a larger than life character, and um he was a big guy and he kind of talked over people, and I don't think people understood that, like, a lot of the stuff he did was a bit. The whole thing where he would talk at, like,
The
uh
joke, the joke was two cripples and a giant.
yeah, well, the joke was 2 cripples and a giant. The other joke with, like, when he would talk at, like, the moon men and the space lizard people or whatever, that was him doing a parody of, like, schizophrenic, uh, people on social media, kinda what we've been, you know, railing up for the past couple years. And it was very Andy Kaufman, and the fact that people didn't get it, like, both, like, amused us, and, like, it annoyed me that people didn't get it. Max thought it was hilarious, but I do wanna share
Oh
that,
yeah,
like.
he absolutely thought it was fucking hilarious when people didn't get that he was doing a bit. And Andy Kaufman is absolutely perfect because that was one of his inspirations. He loved Andy Kaufman. We used to talk about that all the time, and he loved it that some people would also get like so angry when he would talk over you, Sam.
Oh,
And it got to the point where he actually had to explain it once, and I love that. Because really, people are like, oh, he talks over Sam, he's so mean, he's so rude. And it's like, do you not see Sam sitting there like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? How do I get this out? And then Max is just there to save the fucking day. Like, I'm going to say something stupid and
yeah.
take the attention on myself. And then
Yeah,
that
Max
gives
was the
my
clown.
buddy, yeah, it gives my buddy time to get shit together. Like, yeah, it's
Well,
so
yeah.
fucking Max. He would always just put himself fucking in and make himself the butt of the joke to like help someone else, and that was one of the things I absolutely loved about him.
I love that about him too, but, I guess, like I was saying, the reason why I brought him on initially was, back when I started podcasting eons ago now, like, there was a sense of, like, optimism about, like, podcasting and social media being, like, a good platform to express ideas. And then, like, around 2016 or so, it became, like, a big, like, social media grifting thing. And then around, like, 2020, it became black pillville, like, you know, like everything did kind of around COVID, and I was still out there, like, trying to be optimistic. And obviously, like, we had this show as kind of rotated co-host. But when Max first appeared as, like, a guest, and in fact, like, you can check his very first appearance, on the Whitfield Report, the title is literally called "Blame Max Sand," and, on that show, like, I got to know him really well, and Maxine, I don't know if you were actually, like, in the room for that episode, I hadn't met you yet, but, like.
No, I when he first started, I actually didn't really know much about it except for like, oh, he's gonna be doing something similar to what he'd been doing years ago when he, was a part of the first Irregulars. Which I fucking loved that shit. Loved all the fucking guys that were involved in that. Some of them are fucking here with us tonight. But when you guys first started, I was just like, who is this guy? He's like, oh, this is Sam. He's pretty cool. I'm like helping, whatever. And it wasn't until like I guess like he kind of like got himself a little bit established that he actually started being like, hey, you should watch, you should listen, and then started being like, hey, maybe you should get involved. And so I wasn't involved in the beginning, but I was like looking at you, Sam, like, who is this guy. Like I kind of like was like the same thing as Max. Is like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
something wrong with this guy,
Well,
but
he
he did have fun with it. I'll tell you that.
well, he and I, like I said, after his first appearance, like as a guest, he and I started talking like in the background and like kind of offline behind the scenes. And one of the things that we agreed on was that like this whole black pill and nihilism and despair thing was gay. Um, and at the time, like I was kind of between co-hosts and whatnot, and eventually it got to a point where like Max and I were just talking so much behind the scenes that I was just like, "Hey, why didn't you come on? Like, try out as like a co-host?" And we did, and it kind of just came from there. And then he told me that he had this brand called Right to Offend Media. I still had Next Gen Conservative at the time, and the way he pitched Right to me joining like Right to Offend, it was very Max. He basically kind of like was like, "Bro, you're like you're not in your early 20s anymore. You're like 26. You're not the next gen, conservative.
You're the current gen.
You're the current gen." So he pitched Right to Anita, kind of wanted me to become like one of the flagship shows, and yeah, we kind of rebranded, and I mean it's been a whirlwind. Like a lot of fun the last couple of years. Like unfortunately we had to deal
Shortly after that, more
with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Uh but like Max, like there's just so much that we could reminisce at, and I'm sure we will, but like man, I just want to say to kind of start off like, you know, Max, like thank you for the ride, man. Like I only knew you for like 5 years, but it felt like I've known you for longer than that, man. So, like,
felt like a lifetime, man.
yeah, it literally did feel like a lifetime. So,
He had
that's
that effect on a lot of people.
yeah,
That's
he
just that's just Max.
yeah,
I
he
mean,
did.
he
Um,
you either loved him or hated him, but if he got you to love him, then you were in for amazing experiences in your life because I know that the 20 years that I was with him did so many amazing memories and experiences with that man that I don't think I ever would experience without him. He truly was something special.
yeah. What I believe that. One thing I've always been curious about, and I don't need give as much detail or as little detail as you're comfortable with. Obviously, I don't want to dive into your personal life, but like from your perspective, um, how much of Max like on air was a bit versus how much of his personality was like IRL. I always kind of wanted to be like I always imagined kind of being like a fly on the wall being like, is Max really this silly in real life?
Dear Lord, what you saw was him. A fraction of what I got on a daily basis. But no, what you saw of Max on screen on the shows, that was just him. He was always funny, always cracking a joke, always trying to make it like always trying to make me laugh and smile every single day. I was his test audience for most of his jokes. And if he knew that if he got me good, he knew he was going to get you. He knew there was a chance he was going to get more. But no, Max is
If
just
Max and I
Max.
got each other, it was a successful day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you keep going. Otherwise, I'll just like fucking talk the whole time like he did.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Honestly, uh, but I guess do you want to bring on guests or like where do you want to go now? I'm cool with whatever.
I'm gonna be honest that you asked me that, and the first thing I heard in the back of my fucking mind was, if it's not Tim first. I just heard Max yelling at me, so I honestly think that we should let Tim say something first, because Max always said without him, none of this would have even happened. So I feel like Max would say to let Tim say something first.
Alrighty, well let's bring on Tim first. And Timmy, are you there?
Yes, I am. Uh, so to say the very least, I we started the first regulars just as a more of a philosophical kind of like talk show in order to go ahead and discuss pretty much and everything, anything and everything. Um, I was inspired by Blog Talk Radio, which I did very many times, and then it was just a big old call-in show that we just got to go ahead and fling shit at each other. Um, we talked a lot about libertarianism, philosophy, economics. Um, Asa was a big uh, lead guy for that, and he did an amazing job. And then we got into more discussions, and then KK came along, and that's where Max kind of surfaced. Um, to say the very least, through these very many years of how crazy it was and astonishing, it really is amazing to go ahead and come back to see you guys. I was out on a 3 year hiatus, and to go ahead and see everybody was like, it was different, but it was still more of the same. It was pretty cool. And go ahead.
Well, Tim, I was just gonna say, like, I think I was the one who told you a few, you know, nights ago that Max passed, and like I felt, I felt bad, you know, having to be the one to share that. But one thing I want to say too is, like, I realize that you and Shmuley, especially, and Maxine obviously like have like a 10-year history with Max as far as like broadcasting, and Moore and I are still the new guys, but like I just feel so blessed genuinely to like to know all of you through him, and
Agreed.
like obviously like I'm not trying to replace him. That was never my intention, but one of the things that Max, excuse me, told me a while ago was that like you know if anything happened to him, God forbid that like he wanted me to carry on RTO and you know keep an eye on you and Shmuley,
Yeah.
and the rest of the guys. So,
Yeah.
uh, so, uh, as much as Shmuley might not like it, you two are stuck with me now.
It's all good. And I appreciate you, Sam. Thank you so
So,
much.
I appreciate you.
Sam, I just want to take a moment to really thank you, because you helped me by, you did reach out to some of the people and help me spread word about Max, because I had not just like people here that I had to tell people in real life. And so I really wanted to thank you, because that really, really helped me out.
mhm.
You're
Um, I didn't necessarily say anything publicly yet. I mean, this is like the first ever public announcement of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I might have to go ahead and make a video on my own and post it on to Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The whole thing. So I just want to give a little bit of like what happened. So Max passed away early morning, Monday, June 29th. God, anywhere between like 2:30 and 4:30 at some point, he was actually gone. Um, ah, sorry.
It's
It's fine. Take your
So
time.
I I only told a handful of people the first day. Penn was the first person, honestly, that I went to, and I felt so bad because I know I woke her up. But um, I believe I believe you were the second person I told Sam, and it was just, let's keep this quiet. We're only going to tell a few people, and from the very beginning, I was like, not the first Wednesday happened, but the following week. That's when we do it. We do it on the show. I tell everybody publicly, and then we let it know. And then anyone that wants to post about it, make a video, whatever, it's fine. It was just I wanted to try and control when this went out as much as possible because I mean, I loved Max, but we all know that he did have a way of making sort of enemies, kind of, sort of.
yeah,
Yes.
Not ones I really think I need to really, really worry about, but ones that I am aware of could be out there. So I just wanted to make sure that I did this on my terms and just
yeah,
fucking took control.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everyone that helps me keep it under wraps and everything. I really appreciate you guys.
Oh, you're welcome. Like my intention from the beginning has been to like support mainly, you and your family, Maxine. And like I also want to say, like, as I'm thinking out, it's this has been hard for me too because like, and I know you guys will understand this. Everyone here will because like I think we're all friends. And like like Max and I, as far as like internet friends go, we were very close. Like we talked to like actual like, you know, stuff that was going on in our lives. Um, we never met in person. Like we want to do that was something that we had discussed. So like when you first told me that like that Max had passed, and it like hit me that it was real. Like it was like, I mean, it was like, I don't want to say like quite like a death in the family, but like
Sure as hell hit like a truck.
pretty damn close. And like the first person I called immediately after was Morpheus. Um, and like, yeah, more than I had.
All I could say on repeat was fuck, fuck,
Yeah,
fuck.
that was one of the hardest like phone calls that I ever had to make. Um, and so like I have a new respect for people who have to deliver that bad news because
yeah,
sadly
and it's
because
shitty.
because sadly this is like the first time in my life, in my early 30s where like I've had to be the one to deliver, bad news. And I know that like I said Max wasn't, my biological family, but I mean, you guys helped me through so much with my show and the book career and everything else, that like it truly was
Like I told Maxine the
a
other day, this is
loss.
a family by choice.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Um, so, thank you also though, Maxine, for like, for being selfless and being there for me and being there for the team as well. So, um, I really appreciate it. And
All
if
right.
and she got rumbled,
Yep.
so
That's not good.
uh
But we can bring on Shmuley.
yeah, the you know,
It is I, America's most lovable character.
yes.
But
Sure.
yeah, I met Max in a comment section on YouTube. That's where I first interacted with him, and then I listened to Tim and them, and it was hours of him arguing with Kiki about dog fucking in a free society, and Kiki's idea that everything would be weighted because there'd be no privacy in the market, and they would weight it so that a heart surgeon who saved multiple children would essentially be doing more good than harm, and so society would look the other way, as he has his way with a dog in public. Max obviously saying that's crazy, and but over time I became friends with him, and we would troll people online. That was one of our big hobbies, and there was really nobody else who could kind of do improvisation. Right, we would hop onto random calls, random Google Hangouts, whatever, and we never knew what was going to happen, but we would feed off of each other, and there was just great moments. We trolled Ian Freeman, Freak Talk Live,
Oh yeah.
for absolute, a year. And, we trolled people in his orbit, and some of them turned their life around, actually,
Yep.
and it would go on to thank us. But yeah, Max has influenced me tremendously, even before, the sort of Shmuley character came into being. All the way through that point. And it's funny, the talking over Max thing, or talking over Sam rather. That was something that if you listen to the shows when I was more frequent on them, that was a bit that both of us would do to you constantly.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah. And also like I didn't mind that. We would all like talk over each other at points
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. But it became a thing that would be hilarious, right? If both
Yeah.
of us were on the show and you would try to say something, and both of us would purposely, interrupt you.
I'm
Well,
gonna let you finish.
I will say that like Max understood, because like the thing of it is like people talk over disabled people and me like in real life all the time, and it does kind of suck, IRL. Like, and Max really did not do it as much as people thought he did, either. Like it wasn't as frequent as people thought. Uh, those happened to be the episodes where like I had actual like family members tune in.
Well,
But
Max would always turn his gain up on his fucking mic so he could talk over anyone.
well, yeah,
Going back to the very beginning.
that too. And I mean, one of my other favorite bits that Max and I did, it wasn't even a bit, but I had this I had on this guest at one point on the show, who was like a comic book collector, and we like started talking like politics or whatever, and he claimed that he had like worked for the government and that he was like part of the CIA or
Oh, this
something.
guy.
I remember that.
And and like he was talking, and so he started to go down like this like really like weird path about like how like the government was like hiding information about COVID that like he knew, but that he couldn't tell us because like security clearances or whatever. And there was something to do with like satellites, and I'm like trying to like you know like come up with like questions to like probe further. Max comes in because I gave him the link and just like starts like asking this guy questions, and then he gives Max like answers, and Max is like, "Yeah, I don't believe that you're an actual like, I don't believe that you have to have Pentagon clearances."
Yep.
And
Secret agent man.
yeah, that so
Yep.
so the other thing is like everyone knows Max is from Massachusetts, and this guy is also from Massachusetts. So like, so for the first time in my life, I got to watch two massholes like fighting each other on stream, and the only stereotype that was like missing was like that neither of them like tried to like brandish a bottle, and like stab each other or something. It's Secret Agent Man, and it's still on Max's channel. It's hilarious.
What kind of knife would that be, Sam?
Pocket knife?
Well,
Trying to think
no,
of a name. When you break a bottle.
uh,
Can we go ahead and bring on Craig?
yeah, let's bring on the good doctor, who, funny enough, I actually have technically known longer than Max, but still. So, hey, Greg, how you doing, sir?
Well, it's a fun week, isn't it?
Yeah,
You're telling me. Oh, you know what's ironic about the whole thing, which kind of sucks, just in general. When I heard you on Friday talk to me about that, actually my whole vacation was coming up, and it's ironic that I could have actually done it because right now I would have been at work.
oh,
So I mean, it's shitty, but I am glad I'm able to do this. This is
yeah,
really good.
yeah. So,
And just as a heads up, Friday's kind of going to be an extension of tonight as well.
Yep.
yeah. So, Craig, how did you first meet Max?
Let's see. Well, there was that fun thing involving a certain clown and his proclivity with peanut butter. And then the really kind of memorable, first enjoyable time we spent together doing something was actually the night after I walked for graduation.
Yeah,
Like really good interaction, like long chat. Night after I walked for graduation, I was on your show. The
infamous pussy smoke
yes,
segment. Yeah.
that one and the don't shave that hair.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Had all of us, choking for air from laughing. And
Yeah.
like this, it was a very fun thing, and it was he was able to riff along, with an indulgent traipse down a bit of back of the envelope math to get to the final answer there.
Yeah. Well,
that characterized a lot of the interactions I had with him, which was, we're sitting on your show and talking.
yeah.
We have those fun discussions, and just in open ended.
Well, the other thing too is he like is like um immediately after that stream off air. This is the other thing that like people don't know is Max and I like even after the cameras would go off and the show would end, like we would talk sometimes for like, you know, for anywhere from like an hour to like one time we actually both stayed up until like 5:30 in the morning talking, and it was during one of those shows where Max told me he's like, "Hey, have you checked out Craig's podcast, the Fake Untied Podcast yet?" And I hadn't, and
Evan's podcast.
well, yeah,
I
it is
appreciate
Evans,
that.
but like, but at the time, he
Yeah.
he described it as like a podcast that you were on, and that was entertaining because immediately after we did the Pussy Smoke episode, I got to listen to you and Steve, who I didn't know from Adam, like autistically like check your math, and the calculations, and then poor
They're
Evan is
not
just like
bringing up.
You're back. You're back, Maxine.
I'm back. I swear to God, Max is fucking with
He would do
me
that.
tonight because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah, as it
Yeah,
should be.
but
He's haunting
That Maxine,
you.
he's trying to take my show.
well,
Sitting there like Napa doing
Because
patty
every
cake.
technical thing going wrong, span of a gnat fucking with me. Oh
well,
God, even this won't
well,
fucking work.
I did once, make like I did once make a joke that I kind of feel bad now in hindsight, but he used to harangue you on air and just torture you, and I know that it was a bit, Maxine, but one time I did say, I'm like, she's going to smother you with like a pillow or something.
From the man.
Um, and Max said, well, if that's the case, I'll just haunt her then. And well, Max, you seem to be keeping your word with that. But
That he does.
but yeah, no. Did Max ever come on the Fake Untied? I know I've been on your
I
show
don't
a few
believe he
times.
did. I don't believe he got the chance,
Oh, man.
which is unfortunate. I think he would have been a fantastic guest.
Yeah, well, I know that he talked with all of you like in the
Mm-hmm.
background at various points too.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so
Evan and I, and to a lesser extent Steve, I think, um, Evan and I had known his brother Kevin, or the notorious Max Sand. That's with two X's. Um, and we had known him for ages and ages and ages at this point, so over a decade now. And the first night I spoke with him, that same first time we spoke, he and I spoke until like 6 a.m. Just sharing stuff, shooting the shit. And he told me that his name, he had chosen it to mess with his brother. So I asked him, it's a weird name, the notorious Max Sand. Made sure to emphasize that there are two X's in it. Okay, so what's going on with that? Said it's he had kind of stolen this name from his brother, and he was messing with him. It was a long-term troll. I said, okay. Later on, of course, the whole peanut butter salesman situation shows up,
Yeah.
and I get to meet his brother, and I see 1X, and it's just blame Max in. I said, okay, what the hell? And so yeah, we got to talk about it afterwards. I said, that motherfucker. So I went and I spoke with his brother, and that's when he found out about it. That his younger brother had been running around messing with his name, and of course there was a bit of confusion before that. You'd mentioned before that where he had run into the same stuff because of the peanut butter guy,
Yeah.
and just getting crosstalk blame back and forth. It's just
Well,
hilarious.
yeah,
in my view.
well, and without going into like too many specific details too. So like the other way I discovered Max was like people had been like telling me about like Max, but it wasn't like actually the Max I met. They had been talking about the infamous Max, and so like the first time I talked to Max, Max was like, "Oh no, 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 that's my brother that you were told about, but I'm the real Max San." And I'm like, is this guy fucking with me? Little did I know that like I would be
Oddly enough,
little did I know that I would be asking that question like every day for the next, you know, however many years it's been. But but like yeah, like Max is Max and his brother are like the Spider-Man pointing meme.
a bit, yeah.
Basic, basically. So yeah.
Although I don't think Max ever wore face paint to do a Joker impression the way his brother did for us.
You
That
know,
was that was one of the fun things to do with our streams. As we'd sit
like
there and he'd show up out of nowhere as the Joker.
you mean you mean the Notorious?
I mean the notorious Max N, yes.
Yeah, the crazy the reason I had to clarify that though,
Well, there's the
Greg.
ICP thing, sure.
Well, no. The other reason why I had to clarify that though is I could totally picture Max like being like, "Hey Sam, I'm just gonna appear in Joker makeup next week on the show, and we're gonna do a bit about it." Like that is something that he would do. Um,
Top 10 places to wear a Joker makeup. Number 1, Capitol Hall.
I mean, he and I
Capitol,
both
rather.
he and I both
I would see that. I would definitely see that.
yeah. I mean, like he and I both he and I both like wore uh he had like a really cool MAGA shirt that like wasn't like it was like one he had custom made. It was like ICP mixed with MAGA or something that he wore on like the elections night stream.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. Um okay, Max, like you've got to stop haunting your wife. I know you joked about it, but like please give her a break. Thank you.
Just
Yeah,
imagine him, like,
I was
Nappa.
literally sitting here being like, "All right, babe, if it really is you messing with my shit, can you stop? And if it's not you messing with it, can you help me make it work, right? Because like this is fucking ridiculous." It worked out though, because I had to help the boy go to bed. So I mean, but yeah,
Aw.
I'd like it to stop fucking up.
You should be probably haunting Chris Cantwell.
You're well,
That guy's haunted for the rest of his life. Good Lord.
yeah. Oh my
It's
god,
haunted with
He
Bubba
found
and you know.
he found himself a new way to get haunted in prison and came out gay.
that's my other favorite memory is Maxine when you and I, mostly you, read Chris Cantwell's gay erotica, and I and I
Oh my god.
and I don't know if Max was like acting or if it was actually real.
No,
But
he grabbed a fucking paper bag and was literally like heaving into it. Like he really did almost throw up. That's why I was cracking up. It wasn't so much because of the shit that I was reading that he wrote. It was because Max was sitting next to me,
well,
literally like, ugh, ugh. I'm like, oh god,
well,
all right, I gotta make it even better. I was trying to make him barf.
well,
That's why I was getting more into it.
that's the same. Well, that's kind of like I kind of figured that was like true, but like I feel like that was the genius because Max like would have like faked barf too for like a bit, but the fact that it was real was like I mean it just made it
Oh,
so much better.
he was committed to it, like because he kind of skimmed through that entire story first, and he was asking me like, "Are you sure you can do this?" Like some of
Oh, not again.
I see her there.
Yeah, she's on.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
she got.
that is frustrating. More so
Yeah,
for her, I assume, but you know.
Oh yeah, I bet.
yeah. Uh,
Actually, you know what? We haven't brought on JB.
yeah, yeah. Well, Chibi actually. It's funny you brought up the peanut butter salesman, Craig, because
Right.
Oh yeah.
that's kind of
God damn it! Is that really the introduction you're going to give me? Is the peanut butter salesman?
You know,
Really?
be happy I chose that euphemism as a salesman instead
Okay.
of like as American Pie or something.
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. Um, all right. Well, I haven't known Max as long as everybody else. I think I've known him for just I think over a year, and he and I met because he was trying to wake people up to Johnny Fox, and I had been in a Discord of his because he had done catfish
Mm.
uh, reviews, and I liked watching those because they were train wrecks. um, anyway, if it wasn't for Max, I don't think I ever would have my voice on the internet, in the first place, because like he introduced me to Maxine, and then she and I and her friend Penn started the Sandwich Makers, and it's crazy. This all feels so very surreal.
yeah, and I mean I was fortunate enough to be on like the Chibi return stream to the sandwich makers the other night with you and I want to thank you and Maxine for inviting me on to that once again because little did I know that that would be the first time that would be the last time I would speak to Max um like on air. And I'm really glad that like we all got to have that show together. So thank you for that.
If I just wanted to say one more thing. Um, First of all, thank you for including me. And I said that to Max once. A couple of weeks ago, I said, I really appreciate you guys letting me be included. And he said, included? You're part of the band.
Oh yeah. Well, you're
You're
like
the drummer, Chibi,
That's horrible.
remember?
Oh my goodness, I have no rhythm. That's terrible. Why would you do that?
eh. We can put your drum part into Suno. It'll be fine.
Hey,
So
she already is, okay? Because on, let's see, what songs do I have out? Sisters by Choice, that's the RTO band, and she's in it. And we do have on Suno, we have the Sandwich Makers theme song, and that's all of us in it too. So
I need to make Shmuley a theme song next.
another one, we already have Shmooly of the 99, which I still don't know what the fuck that means.
You should go ahead and like get it to do some sort of Weird Al Wigger remix thing.
Oh my god, Sam, you and I could so collab on that.
Well, that's the thing is like is Max was Weird Al like personified. I
Yeah, I
I,
think you could pull that off, but just between like those themes between, I think that might work.
yeah.
Just
Um
surprise them with that. Make sure you're wearing your Sunday best, Shmuley. This one's gonna knock your socks off.
yeah. I don't know if I don't know if Shmoo's like listens much to the AI stuff. I'll have to ask him. But
I know that he listened to mine and Max's music because Max always would be like, "Hey, this is out on Spotify," and he was like, "Oh, cool, awesome!" And he was so like he hyped it up so much. Smoothie's fucking awesome.
oh yeah, he is. Speaking of hyping stuff up, uh, I do. I'm hearing Max nagging me. I do have a new book out, which I kind of promoted last week, but because of like circumstances, obviously didn't promote it. But my new book, Vengeance in Venezuela, is out now in paperback and ebook. And well, if you would like to, if you feel like tossing money in Max's honor, I I know that he would want you
Kill
guys
the book.
to
Kill
support
the
my
book.
book. So
We're
sadly,
gonna need a new set of scientists to come in here because it turns out that when you have the leader missing in action, the rest of them kind of disband. So I think Maxine, desperate as it's going to be as far as measures go here, you're going to have to routinely inform us as to whether or not these books by Sam do in fact
Oh dear
increase not
God.
only the length but the girth of the male reader audience.
Oh fucking hell. God damn you for
uh,
having a fucking point. Cause,
it,
cause you're right. Like Max and I, yeah, right. Here we go. Sam and I actually, we were actually talking, uh, kind of about stuff like that, but not specifically like that. That I've been thinking about it. It's kind of been like heavy on my heart that maybe I just pick up Max's torch and try to keep doing what he was doing to the best of my ability.
But with more Stranger Things.
Well, of course.
I think try the shoes on, see if they fit for a few times. Maybe adjust as needed and tie the laces.
yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, and I realize we're doing this on air, like obviously, like family comes first. And like I said, I'm amazed honestly that you're um like not catatonic. Um,
Honestly, so am I. But somehow I'm just like pushing through.
yeah, like major round of applause just for that in general. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad you don't have a soundboard right now.
you know,
Sorry. Sorry.
I do, and I thought about pulling it out, but I was like,
That would have been
That,
so
that can be
fucking
arranged
cheesy.
real quick.
I'm like, this is not the occasion.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, listen, the show will carry on, uh, you know, regardless. I mean, that's kind of the point. Right to Venmita lives on. Um, and I mean, it's going to be a bummer not like seeing Max every uh, week and talking to him offline. Like for me, that's going to be like the hardest thing because like even just like the Charlie Kirk trial stuff, I'm like I wonder what Max would think about that, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't ask him about that.
Probably
Like,
making fun of Candace Owens right now.
oh
Oh, most
yeah,
likely.
oh yeah, and like I don't want to like I was already empathetic towards Erica Kirk, but like now I'm even more empathetic. Uh, since like I actually like personally know a widow now.
So I I don't really follow Candace all that much, especially since I realized she's insane,
You're
batshit crazy. Like, sorry, but
She's
it's
a
true.
nut.
It but like I keep seeing there's a few people I follow on Instagram that have been sharing just clips of some of the shit that she's saying. And just on that alone, on just what she's saying, how she looks, reading her body language, her facial expressions, those fucking eyes sometimes, I'm just like, I feel bad because this woman has obviously had a mental breakdown over Charlie Kirk because she obviously had some kind of meaningful relationship, whether it was to the both of them or just to her, it doesn't really matter at this point. There was obviously something there and it broke this woman. So I feel bad because I know that some of this insanity is because her brain has just fucking clocked out right now. But then it's like now being a widow and like having like thoughts of like I'm gonna have to worry about people that are gonna say shit about my husband and probably about me once they find out he's gone. And so now I'm kind of looking at all this other stuff in a different light, and I'm just like, this bitch. I get it. You wanted his
yeah,
dick. You wanted him, but he chose her, had a family with her, and you need to back the fuck off because the shit that you're fucking saying about her, insinuating about her, you think he would like that? Or do you think he would look at you and be the husband that he was and tell you to back the fuck off before he knocked your head off? Because he might have been a man of God, but the Bible does tell you to fucking protect your women. He would be up your fucking ass right now. So think about that for a second because you want to sit there and claim it's all about because you had feelings for him or a relationship with him, whatever the fuck you want to say you had with him, but then you're spewing this fucking shit. Dude, he's fucking disappointed in you right now, Candace. He's looking down at you right now, shaking his head, wondering where he went wrong talking to you, that he didn't get you to the right path. And I pray that you honestly find your way to that right path because I kind of feel like unless your husband is just like totally okay with this because he's all right with the money, you're probably hurting your husband too with all this shit because he sees this too. So maybe maybe the shut your fucking mouth and get back in the kitchen type of thing is actually a good thing for you to hear right now, Candace. Okay? Okay.
Well, uh, I mean, you already had the co-host position if you wanted it, Maxine, but like, so you didn't have to sell me on like a further audition, but like, damn, anyone who thought that anyone who thought that the fire was gone because Max is no longer here, like that was wow, bravo.
Max is the one that reined me in most of the time, so now I really do have to be careful with what I say.
Well,
So what you're saying is the chains are off.
well,
Yeah.
well,
Come
funny.
on now, she's not in that kind of neighborhood. It's just a standard leather leash.
Well, funny enough, Maxine, like both on air and off air, every week, poor Max would have to like hear me bitch out these fucking grifters, on the right that annoyed me. We would always end up calling Tucker Carlson or Nick Fuentes, often both of them gay. And I'm sorry, but like Tucker Carlson is gay. And he's also a fake New Englander too.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
You mean the right has grifters? No way.
So like
It's like
I
a
hope
Long Islander from Brooklyn, huh?
well no, worse. He's a New Englander from like San Diego, California initially.
Oh my goodness. What a fucking queer.
Yeah. But no, like Max whole ethos was that like these grifters are retarded and blackpilling and despair is retarded and gay. That's pretty much like what he was. That was like the first thing he whispered to me, like when I kind of started hearing him these past couple days. So, like, yeah, that if there was
I
one
swear to
final,
God, if the two of you guys start talking about him the same way that Candace Owens talks about Charlie, he's talking to me in the dreams. I'm gonna go and find Charlie Chaplin and bring him back from the dead.
I can
Well-
tell you exactly what Max would say to that. Gay?
well, yeah. Well, yeah, Max would. I mean, he would be making all sorts of jokes about this situation right now.
I'm gonna get Houdini. Say, alright, we got a couple of people here who are hearing voices. They also say they can talk to your mother from beyond the grave. And then duck.
Max would definitely be like asking you in like great detail what the voices were saying to you and trying to get you to say something stupid.
Right?
I promise you I'm a seance. You just gotta go ahead and believe me.
Yeah.
Look, I have new text messages from them, from Max Sand. Definitely not from the notorious Max Sand.
Oh my God. So one funny thing too would be like if Max's account just like started tweeting like as if he were still here.
Oh dear.
Well, now you just ruined it, Sam. Now I understand what he always meant about you ruining the jokes and stuff.
Yeah, it's a spoiler, yeah.
I
jeez.
really could kind of be like him, couldn't I?
Well, you know,
You know him best.
the two of you were you knew him better than anyone here. So
Well, yeah, I had 20 years with the guy.
Well,
yeah,
here's if I have advice for you on this, it's as much as you're going to anyway, try not to use him as the barometer for your own success. And
yeah,
you're
Yeah,
going to be just fine on the podcast, so you
I
don't need
kind of,
to you don't need to measure up to him because you're never going to in your own opinion anyway.
yeah, that's a bit of the problem that I kind of had with Suno in the beginning, because as
No.
much as like, yeah, I took the songs and like I changed like how they sounded and stuff, like some of those are they're his, like he wrote them, and he would always tell me like, I wrote them for you, I wrote them for you to use, and we do this together. That's why we have the dirty duets and stuff. And I still just like, I always felt like, yeah, but I just feel like it's yours and I feel like I'm stealing it. I've always been like that, and it's hard for me to get out of that mindset.
I I can understand that. You know, to an extent. Max was very generous once when he told me off air that he did think I was the next Rush Limbaugh, and I'm like, well, that's a very generous, compliment. But no, I, I
So
mean,
that's a fine compliment for Rush Limbaugh, but I am the first Sam Whitfield.
yeah,
There you
Yeah.
yeah, and indeed,
go.
and that's kind of like Maxine. If you do decide to, pursue, you know, podcasting more and also the music stuff, make it your own. Like you're not going to be able to match Max because Max's work was his stuff, and so just make it yours.
I'll try.
Well, I'm still learning to, improve as a writer, and I've been at this,
For too
you
many
know,
books.
a long time. I mean, I, I mean, I'm no, I mean, it's not rocket science. Although we do have the next best thing to rocket scientist here. So,
If you mention Pussy Smoke one more time, I swear to God.
Who's
I was
talking
thinking
about
about it.
Trolley? Come on. Oh wait, he's not here. Damn it.
pussy smoke, pussy smoke, pussy smoke.
We
You're
do have
on
the
my
pussy
list.
scientist.
Fucking Biggie Smalls, what's going on?
Well, well, I heard an urban legend that if you say pussy smoke, 3 times, Monica Lewinsky will appear.
Oh my God.
Although the way,
Is she under your
no, no, but maybe Sydney Sweeney is.
I swear I can hear Max clapping for that one, Sam.
Are is the clapping coming from inside the house?
It's coming from
Ha,
inside the head.
ha, ha.
Uh, I am. I'm amazed that he could just like ad lib, as much as he did. Like it truly was a skill that he had. Just
Yeah,
like
he's always been good at that as long as I've known him. He just was able to think off the top of his head just fucking instantly. That's how like some of the shit that we got into was because he would just be like, "Hey, let's do this," and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, I'm smoking a blunt with Jelly Roll at the gathering." Okay, like that's just how life was with him.
Well, and like um, like even some of the people that I met, like Kurt Doolittle and like that was pretty cool. And like even though I arranged, even though like I was the one who set up, like I had no idea that Max had been like a fan of Andrew Nelson prior to us having him on, but he was, and so that was cool. And like Max kind of like changed my opinion on like criminal justice reform uh a bit, which I know was a thing that he was like kind of passionate about. And yeah, there were like I said, I'm just gonna miss hearing his opinion on a lot of stuff, and mainly just like hearing him make fun of a lot of stuff too, I think.
There are so many things I'm gonna miss about him that I obviously cannot talk about on here. Uh, but I, all the times that he would joke about like grabbing my butt or saying, making comments, like I am gonna miss that stuff. Because as much as like I joked about hating it, like that was just how our relationship always was. We always joked around and flirted like that from the very beginning. And I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss the things that our son does that he's not here for. Like, of course, of all the times for my son to learn how to whistle, it was 2 days after his dad passed. I'm like, are you kidding me? And like I started crying because he whistled for the first time, and all I could think was, oh my god, Max wasn't here to see that. And I know I'm gonna have more moments like that, and I know I'll get through them, like because I'm trying to prepare myself by being like, hey, it's gonna happen. That's reality. But I know they're all gonna hurt like a bitch.
Well, if it brings you any comfort, I do believe that Max is watching uh you know you like he saw he's seen those moments. um
I try
so
to think like that. Like so
but
this is actually kind of a funny thing I want to share with you. You know how Max always talked about the bunnies and the bunny king and all that shit? He
yeah.
really did always see the bunnies when he walked through the park because there were tons of them. The night that he passed, I saw two freaking bunnies on the way to my mom's, and I'm like, all right, fine, I get it. You're letting me know you're all right. Don't let this happen all the time, because if I seriously start seeing those rabbits, those bunnies everywhere, I really am gonna think that it's him.
oh oh so, oh so that that's because like the other thing too was like he would say that he would say that mumbly jumble sometimes. But then the other thing is like he would say like sometimes like profound shit too.
That's what he loved to do because he loved to fuck with everybody and just throw some fucking like I don't even know, like Aristotle fucking bullshit out in this middle of rambling about the turkey war versus the bunny war, and then there's some philosophical bullshit in there, and you're like, wait, hold on. You're talking about teaming up with bunnies to take down the turkeys, but you said, wait, what? And that's just what he loved to fucking do to everybody. And he did that to me in real life all the fucking time. And I didn't just throw stuff at him for the show, dude. I would really throw stuff at him for real.
Oh,
Like, shut
oh,
up.
oh! Believe me. After the first few times I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is. I mean, it's a bit, but like also it's not
It's a
because
bit, but it's not.
clearly she's had practice doing this too.
Yeah, and I never meant to hurt him. Like that's the thing. Like anytime that I did hurt him, I felt so fucking bad. And like we would talk about it after, and I would be apologizing. So he'd be like, "It's fine, just don't throw it that hard." I'm like, "I'm sorry," because like we wanted to make it look real, like I really was pissed off throwing stuff at him. I was like, "Yeah, but I don't want people to think I'm like a bitch though. Like I'm not trying to like shut you up all the time." But especially when we realized Mort kept rooting it on. He's like, "No, we're doing it because Mort likes it. We're doing it. Just keep doing it." I'm like, "Son of a bitch." All right, fine. I'll keep doing it.
Yep, it's your fault, Mort.
I accept it.
Feel this is the first time I could use the hashtag feel bad more guilt trip.
You think I have that emotion?
Yeah, yes, I didn't before, but now I do. So, I guess like more. Let me ask you. Like, I know that you met Max like through me, but like, what were your kind of, I guess, first impressions of Max, and then the evolution?
I won't lie. It took a while for both Max and I to warm up to each other because our personalities just clashed a lot. I thought initially, but we eventually found our groove and got to the point where part of what we did is try to crack each other up and make each other break during the show. That's what we do, or we did.
Yeah. Um. I mean, you guys would like both get me a lot too. So,
Half
um,
my goal was to be me, but be me and get you both.
and you have succeeded multiple times in that, sir. So, so bravo. Um, I mean, I mean, you know, there's just so much. There,
And like I told Maxine, you and Maxine off air throughout the week, that Max is one of the very few that I the way I am and the people that I usually surround myself with. I'm usually the guy that listens to and finds obscure shit, and Max could out obscure me, which I wasn't used to.
oh yeah, yeah. You're not kidding. You're not kidding about that. Um, yeah. Just like I have to say, like I didn't think losing him would hit me as hard as it has. Um, but like,
I want to say something about that. Um, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to get like sappy, and plus I know he wouldn't like me getting into too much detail. But I honestly hope that he is watching and that he's listening and that he's seen you know the conversations that I've had with a few different people about him, this whole thing, because it means so much, like just to me, to see how many of you were genuinely like touched by him in some way, shape, or form, that some community definitely was built around what he did. And I'm thankful that I know like you guys and that, I do kind of have you in my corner. That's really great. I just wish that Max could see it because he had this thing where as much as he loved you guys, because of the shit he went through, he always had this fear in the back of his mind that he didn't really have friends and that he was kind of like just me and him against the world. And I was always telling him that he had you guys, that you're not just people
Max
on the
was a
internet.
homie.
Yeah, you're not just people on the internet. You're friends. You're like homies. You're family, and it it was hard for him to like fully be able to like get that. And I know it's because of the shit he went through, and but like
Yeah,
I just like it means so much to see and hear all you guys saying all this, and I know that, well, I hope that he would actually be touched by it and finally realize he had friends.
yeah. I mean, listen, if you're going to share that, like I might as well share. Like at the end, and again, like I'm not going to get into like explicit detail, but like at the end of last year, he was, like I said, we had like conversations off air, and um one night he reached out to me, and like it wasn't on like a Wednesday night, it was like some other night. He reached out to me, he- and like he you know we talked on Discord, and he was um he was depressed, and like again, I don't want to go into like specific details as to why, but like the thing with him feeling like he had no friends, like that did come up, and like I was kind of like surprised that he felt that way, that like he didn't have any friends, and like I understand why he felt that way, but like I did try and convey to him that like I do care about him, um
Well, it's
genuinely, and
like I get why part of it is hard or was hard for him, because I mean, I know that he wasn't really shy about his childhood talking about it on the show. When you grow up with like a mom that just like basically tells you that like doesn't love you, didn't want you, just a complete fucking not a very good mother, not a very good person. I'm still trying to be respectful because like
sure.
is my mother-in-law, even though like we didn't see them for 15 years. He was open about that as well. Like when like I see everything that we went through, and I've heard the stories of like what he grew up with, not just from him, from his brothers, surprisingly even from her own mouth. I just don't think she realized what she was saying. You can really understand why someone would have that. It's not paranoia, because like it showed to be true for him that the people that he always thought could be trusted, that were the closest, did end up kind of stabbing him in the back. So I can understand him being weary about it, but
Yeah.
I honestly feel like this community, even with Asa, and God help me, even KK and Tim and Smoothly and Iron Man, there's a community that was built through all of that, and I really feel like deep down all of you can be trusted, and I'm thankful that you're all here, and I'm
I
just glad that I can see it.
well, I am too. I mean, the one thing I am glad is like one of our last conversations that he and I had, um, earlier this year, was he was really, you know, excited, not just for the success of my book, but also that I had like a new manual wheelchair, and I was getting, back in shape. Like that's the other thing too, is like I said, Max and I had an off-air bond. Like, yeah, he would he would like talk, you know, over me like on air sometimes, but like more often than not, like he would also check up like on me, and like sometimes like he wouldn't like make me talk, but he would be like, "I know you have something on your mind, and I'm here to listen if you need it." So, like, he was great for that, and, like, I
He
told him.
really did check up on Dave too. Like he was
Oh,
genuinely worried about Dave when Dave didn't make videos for a while, or just like he just hadn't been putting them public or whatever. Max was genuinely concerned and really was even trying to check up on Dave. Like, we love
Yep.
Dave.
Yeah, I
Oh my
know.
god, I wonder what Dave's gonna think when he finds out, if he finds out. If he'll be like upset or if he's gonna make a funny video.
I
Yeah,
I
I
I
don't know.
I could totally see Dave being like making like a video like, well, Max was kind of an asshole or or something like that. You know, I don't
Max is
know.
fucking with me again.
Yeah, but no, like Max really did. You know, he cared. He did care for all of us. You know, I
Genuinely, that's not fake. That's not
Yep.
Sam just saying it to say it. It 100% like Max cared about like every single one of you.
I
He,
do.
he cared for us. We cared for him.
Yeah,
For sure. I wish I could have talked to him a little bit more on Discord, but life goes on. We've got things in the way, so I'm
y-
glad the times that we were able to go ahead and like have a conversation and shoot the shit.
yeah. I mean, like I said, like, you guys were lucky to, know him for like a decade. And I talked to you know, to my best friend in the world, Luke, who's been on the show, last night. Who's been on the show before. I've known him since kindergarten, and I talked to him, and I told him that I was struggling, and he said that, Sam, like, you may have only known Max for 6 years, but those 6 years, are years that, you know, that were instrumental, and Max is, a part of your life now and your story. So there's something awesome about that for all of us. However long we knew Max, he was part of our lives. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, he Max definitely had a special relationship like that with Shmuley because God, we've been talking to that kid since he was 18. Like I make the joke all the time that like he's like our adopted kid. I'm like I'm not kidding though. Like I'm Shmuley is like our adopted kid. Known him since he was 18, and I know that Max did the best he could to try and mentor that boy, and I think that he did a good job because I mean, absolutely, we should be proud of everything Shmuley's done because he's a great. I don't want to keep saying kid because he's not a kid, but no, he's a great young man.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
what listen, I'm in my 30s and people still are like, you're right, kids now, and it's like, you know, not a kid anymore, but thanks. Um, but no, and I mean, and the other thing is like, is Max and I were Max was always like saying that like Shmuel and I had to hang out, in person, and now we have to, if for no other reason than to like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
you guys have to make that happen.
to fulfill that, promise to
Yeah.
Max. So, but anyway, I mean, I suppose we'll
And we need to give Max his cripple fight.
yeah. Yeah,
Triple hide.
yeah, which
So I do have something that Penn wrote up for me to read because unfortunately she wasn't able to be here tonight because she's got a little one who's sick right now.
oh no.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to read that.
Sure.
All right. So I'll put my cigarette out. So this is what Penn sent to me. Most of my memories with Max have to do with Maxine. Or, well, she put you, but she means me. Like y'all hosting me and showing me how to smoke and all, because we smoked a blunt with her. He helped me. He helped make me feel better about becoming a mom and was really encouraging, especially when I was pretty much convinced I was terrible because of my health issues. Like, we obviously didn't agree on a lot of stuff and had different viewpoints and even more shit. But I'm happy that when we did talk, we did listen. Fuck, he even let me rant about Stranger Things and gave me interesting perspectives on stuff. And Lord knows how tired of that shit he was. Max had his demons, he really did. But I give him credit for using them to try and help others as best he could. Like, even in his worst moments, he would push them aside to help. And she also said later on that you can't do what he did helping people if you didn't go through shit in your own life. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I read that because she really wanted to make sure that, you know, she wanted to get that out there. So
That is extremely true. All of that is like, especially those last two parts. Um, Maxine, I know I wrote, you know, the letter for Max and I shared it with you, but like if it's okay with you,
I
I
absolutely think that you should read it, Sam. Absolutely.
so a little bit of background for people. After I lost my uncle 10 years ago, I started uh, journal journaling. And one of the things I did was I wrote a letter to my uncle who passed away from liver cirrhosis, and kind of said the things to him that I wasn't able to say in person, kind of my final goodbye. And I did the same thing with my grandparents when they passed, and you know, I did the same on the 4th of July for Max, and I shared it with Maxine and a handful of other people, and I wasn't going to share initially, but like today, like Max was just like read the letter. Um, so I wanted to ask Maxine's permission beforehand. Um, and since she's okayed it, like, I want to share this with all of you. So, dear Max, I wish I didn't have to write this letter, and I know that you'll never be able to read it in its earthly form, but I hope that you can still pick this up somehow in heaven. Though I only knew you for a short time via the internet, I always admired you first as a fellow traveler in the same podcast circles, then as a dear friend, and finally as a sort of big brother. In my nearly 20 years of podcasting, you're one of the most unique individuals I've ever met, which is totally true, by the way. At times, you could be completely off the wall and goofy with a rambunctious energy, other times, deeply introspective and thought provoking, sometimes both at once. I'm going to miss our on air banter together, but I'm going to miss our late night conversations after the show even more. I'm honored that you invited me into your world and introduced me to your wife and son. Which, by the way, I want to comment on that after the letter. I've been trying as best I can to help from afar, and both are in my prayers every night, which is also true. I've been trying to think about what your final message to the audience would be, if you could make one. As I'm typing this, I can hear your voice in my head saying, nihilism and despair is retarded and gay. Keep believing in the USA. Um, today is Independence Day, and I know that you'd want us celebrating instead of crying over you. I'll do my best to stay upbeat and positive. Finally, I want to thank you for believing in me as a podcast host, author, and human being. And thank you for making me a part of Right to Friend Media. Things won't be the same without you, but we will carry on in your honor. Thank you for everything, Sam. So, as I mentioned, like, I know that, Max had to deal with trauma in his life. And I also know that Max was very protective, as anyone should be, of their, IL family, especially with the way things are. And I'm honored that, that he invited me into his life as much as I've been a part of it. And Maxine, I mean, I'm honored that you've allowed me to help, you know, and, be a part of this process that you're going
I
through.
I appreciate everything you've done, Sam. I really do. Like it means a lot that you were even like asked me if you wanted me to like I wanted if I wanted you to reach out to people. Sorry, it's getting late.
Yeah,
Um, but I know I appreciate the help, even from Mort. Mort's been helping me with stuff too, and Core. Like I appreciate everything that you guys have been doing for me. You know, honestly, just Core with his streams. I told him I couldn't believe how much it helped. 9 hours. I just listened to the stream, and it just helped me get through the day of like doing the dishes and stuff like that. It's just even small things like that are just a really big help right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
If you need anything, just reach out to Maxine.
yeah, same here. And Evan, I know that you're in chat, or you were, and I know Craig is here, but like I know I said this before, but and like I'm not just saying it because you guys are my friends. I genuinely find the Fake Untied podcast entertaining. And I also find Evan's voice very calming. Just his cadence, and that really helped me the other night to listen to you guys. So, thank you to the Fake Untied podcast, and go check them out as well. They're fantastic.
I'm just hearing that I have a very jarring and irritating voice right now.
uh,
Allow me to have my woman moment here.
well, uh, for
Well,
for
Evan does have his charm.
yeah, Evan has his charm, and listen, as far as doctors go, like, you have the most, like, normal, you don't get uppity like so many other doctors and PhDs.
Well, there are people like Jill Biden who say, call me doctor. And then there are the doctors who say things like, call me Bob.
Yeah, and you're the
So that's why I
latter.
say, call me Craig.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your, your esoteric, uh, and often just juvenile humor never fails to, slay me. So,
Well, I mean, in other words, James Randi had this working conjecture of his that there's something about the conveying of the degree, something in like something on the diploma. Once you put your hand on it, you lose the ability to say a couple things. I don't know, and oh, I forget the other one, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. But you can see where that's an issue.
yeah. Well, Yeah, no, totally.
So
I
I've kind
mean,
of resolved it. Like I'm not gonna be the guy who says, unless I don't like a person specifically and I think it's funny. If that opportunity presents itself, who the hell am I to disagree? But otherwise, like, I'm not gonna be the kind of guy who just like chirps in and says someone calls me doctor.
yeah,
The
although,
title doesn't mean shit. It's what I did that actually got it.
yeah, no, absolutely. I have the same kind of philosophy about like, I mean, like Max never went to college, but yet like Max in some respects is smarter and more well read than a lot of the professors that I actually like, and that's not even necessarily a dig on him,
Mm-hmm.
but
Can't
like
confirm.
also like Max I mean he was like a scraggly like tall guy who looked like he like walked out of a grunge scene, and yet like he could go toe to toe with any of my professors who had like PhDs in like philosophy and
Yep.
uh
He can run circles.
oh
I
yeah,
actually
easily.
totally see it. Circles.
Like he even like I once sent him like my one of my film essay papers from college. This was even like after I graduated, and he like added like a couple more things that like where I could have improved on it. And yeah, like he was a man of many interests.
So, an interesting story about him, which I did have confirmed by his mother, so I know that he was not full of shit for this. Um, when he was 6 months old, he said his first sentence, and it was, "Mom, stop singing, you're annoying me." Because they were in the car, and his mom was singing to the radio, and he didn't like it. And she said she nearly swerved off the road because she was just like, my 6 month old just fucking spoke to me. And the reason for that, we owe his grandmother, because she was the type of woman that believed that being able to speak well and everything was really important. So if you used a big word around Max when he was little, you had to stop and you had to explain to him what that word meant. You were not allowed to do baby talk. There was no gaga goo goo in his household. No, you spoke to him like a person. His grandmother was just like, no, he's going to learn how to talk and talk well. And as much as that is a fantastic thing, because like you said, like, yeah, he could fucking talk circles around people on topics that I didn't even know he knew anything about. And I know that's, because of his grandmother, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but I had to deal with that every day of my life. Do you know how annoying that is to deal with that every single day and to have him correct your grammar when you're speaking, when you have a Pawtucket accent and you like, yeah, he was great,
I
but
figured that was
also annoying.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I get that. I mean, the other thing too is like I've heard, and I'm not saying this as like a brag. I'm not. People my entire life have told me that that like I'm very charismatic. Um, my mom,
Yeah.
my mom even told me, and I believe this because she's told me this like a couple times. By the way, if you're watching, hi mom. But she once said that people used to come up to her when I was a baby and tell people that I was charismatic. And I bring that up because I mentioned that to Max because like Max was I mean like Max did the whole like goofball thing like as a bit, and I get that that was like part of his persona, but like he did have charisma like out the wazoo too in his own way. And I think that's like another reason why we connected, I think.
He wrote a song called Pee Pee Poo Poo. Come on.
That was the number one in the charts. What do you mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it's
Guy who used peanut butter jars as a fleshlight.
it was profound, too.
I can't lie. I did use like the style from one of those songs for one of my songs, and I was like, damn it, it's really good. I can't really say anything about it anymore.
Also, speaking of, are we going to go ahead and get a hit single called Toilet Meth Dealing?
I think we need a single called Toilet Flush, because Max and I would always talk at like how annoying the AM radio, like morning zoo guys are. Um and so I feel like making fun of them, like I've gotta continue to make fun of Anthony Cumia, if for no other reason than Max what would like want me to. So
He would definitely want the funny and the comedy to continue.
well, as the philosopher Shmuley once told me, although I think he stole it from Max, to be honest, God favors the funny, and like I definitely believe that.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like a co-effort there that they kind of both came up with that together actually.
Well, of course, but Shmuley like has to say, "Oh, I came up with it because I'm Shmuley."
Of course.
So,
So speaking of hit singles and stuff, um I actually kind of a little bit of a downer now, but I actually wrote a song for Max after everything that happened, and it is published on Suno now. So if you wanted to play it, you can. If anyone wants to go check it out, just go to Maxine Sand on Suno, and it's called Empty Desk Chair.
all right, let me pull that up on
I'll keep that
on
in mind. It is a half hour past pumpkin already, so
yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna go ahead and hop out.
yeah. Well, Craig, thanks
Yeah, I
for
kind of figured this
And
could be the last thing because it's getting late and we're all tired.
so
yeah,
I'll probably catch it as from the audience side as I'm getting the bed ready and so on. But in any event, um,
yeah.
once again, as you'll be hearing for probably another month or so. So get used to it, Maxine. My condolences. Max was a dear friend at the time that I knew him.
Thank you.
Um, and I'm very glad I was able to be here to share this time with you.
And
All right.
Craig, thanks for helping us all out, and we
Yeah.
really appreciate you, man. So
Yeah. Glad to be here.
thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. All right. Good night, guys.
So and uh and also I know that Shmuley had to pop out, but thanks to Shmuley as well for popping in and sharing his story as well. So let's see.
I just want to say, may his memory be eternal, and you know, so long as we remember him in our memories, I know that his life and his legacy that he has, you know, set forth and put on, I know that he will always live, and especially for a very, very long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and that's definitely going to be my goal going forward is to definitely keep his memory alive, and that's why I really am going to think about maybe taking his spot on the show. I'm going to have to think about it, but the fact that it's something that kind of came to me right away just makes me think it's something I really do need to take time to think about.
Yeah, I mean, please do, think about it. And, you know, uh, I mean, I mean, I hate to say this because, like, the occasion is, shitty, but, like, I thought that this show was gonna suck, but it's I don't wanna say it's been fun because that's not the right word, but
But it's
it's
been
been
even
a
more of a
lot
show.
less sucky than, like, I imagined.
It definitely went better than I think any of us were expecting, even with my technical difficulties.
Well, I mean, technical difficulties and being late, that's just on brand for the show at this point, so,
True.
uh,
Agreed. True.
I'm
you
back.
know, but, if Rumble will okay, now here we go. Um, so as I mentioned before, and now we've got Rumble, up and running,
Ladies.
I
Sorry,
w
I had to.
oh, well, yeah,
Ladies.
thanks for reminding. We do have, a new single, by Maxine Sand, dedicated to Max, and I don't know, this feels very, we'll talk about after, this feels very, like, biographical, somewhat, empty desk chair. So, here it is, the world premiere.
I remember the first time I saw you sitting at the computer playing your video games. My heart skipped a beat as you looked up at me. I thought you were so cute. One chance encounter brought two hearts together. It was love at first sight. Then the years went on and our true love grew with marriage and a child. I was the happiest I've been in my life. But now your desk chair sits empty in the dark as I remember that fateful night. No more late night talks while we share a blunt. All the conversations I've lost. No more seeing you smile or hearing your voice telling me how beautiful I am. And I can't help as I scream to God, why? How could you take him away from our life? But I know there's a reason, even if I don't have the answer now. I know I'll get it one day. When I see you again, when we meet at the gates. Through the years we were together, you always protected me from online and in real life. I loved every moment by your side, always down for that crazy ride. You always said it was us against the whole world. Now I'm sitting here feeling lost and alone. I can't help feeling angry and sad. How do I do this on my own? But now your desk chair sits empty in the dark as I remember that fateful night. there's a reason. Even if I don't have the answer now, I know I'll get it one day. When I see you again, when we meet at the gates. I miss you so much, every day it hurts and the tears won't stop. But I gave you my word to stay strong and take care of our body. I promise I'll make you proud of me. I'll show you that I can do it. I know you believed in me, and that just helps me push on. But for now your desk chair sits empty in the dark, as I remember that fateful night. There's no more late night talks while we share a blunt. All the conversations I've lost. No more seeing your smile or hearing your voice, telling me how beautiful I am. And I can't help as I scream to God, why? How could you take him away from our life? But I know there's a reason, even if I don't have the answer right now. I know I'll get it one day, when I see you again, when we meet at the gates. I will love you forever, my husband and best friend.
Well, Maxine, I know you said that you didn't think you were as good as Max, but I love that when I first heard it, and still do.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
You were every bit as good as Max was, Maxine.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he would be proud of you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, guys.
I mean, like I said, I'm amazed that you're here and that you've been communicating with all of us and helping us out through all of this. I was, generally kind of thinking, well, I'll give her space, and which I am still, trying to do. But you've been very proactive, which is more or less amazing. Because I don't think I'd be able to if I lost my partner.
I honestly think it's because of Max that I'm able to, because he kind of helped me through this when I lost my dad, and I'm trying to do things differently from then, and not trying not to like let it suffocate me and let it drown me. And the one thing I've done differently is anytime I feel like I need to cry, I just let it happen now. I
Yeah,
don't try holding it in because I realize that's bad. The only hard part is not crying around our son, because I think aside from losing Max, the hardest thing was having to tell our son, and now trying to help him understand why daddy's not coming home. And that's very, very difficult right now.
Well, I bet there's nothing to go ahead and say for that. I mean,
I
this is in a sensibility of when you lose your father young. It's going to change you. It's going to change like a lot of your teenage years and everything like that, you don't have anybody to go to, especially when you're growing up. Um, I know that you will do well, and I want you to
Yeah.
understand that. And you have a community. Remember, raising a child does take a village, and remember, you do not need to do this alone.
I don't
I appreciate that.
I don't talk about my faith on air, um, you know, very often. I am a Christian and I do believe. I don't tout it, uh, as like some superiority thing like a lot of online personalities do, but I have been told by others that I am a powerful, um, prayer. Um, I'd like to think that all of us are, you know, powerful in prayer when we utilize it. And so I've really been praying for, you, excuse me, and your son. And I hope that um and I've asked other people in my circle to pray as well, and I hope that it's been helping in whatever way.
Well, I was actually going to say that I really appreciate it, and I really do think it helped because there were definitely some difficult personal things that I was dealing with that both even like my mom and I were concerned about how they were going to go, and it like honestly it seemed like by the grace of God everything went exactly the way we needed it to. And so yeah, I think it did help, so I appreciate any prayers that we got during this time because Lord knows I was praying my ass off, man.
Yeah. And well, Max, like I said, thank you for everything. Um, you once told me that we would be saying uh, goodbye, and that you thought I'd be moving on to like a national, you know, radio program or Fox News or something, and that we'd have to say goodbye. And I told you that 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 us saying goodbye was never gonna happen. Um, this isn't the goodbye I wanted, man, but this is the best one I could, you know, considering the circumstances. This is the best goodbye I think that I could have done. And I want to thank everyone, uh, every single one of you for coming on the show and celebrating Max's life with me. We miss you, Max, and we hope that I know that you're in a better place and that you're free of your demons now. So may you find peace, brother. So
I want to say one last thing. It's
sure.
it's what Max really believed in for all of this, basically. And I'm not going to say it the way that he would say it because I'm not as eloquent as he was. But never stop just talking. Freedom of speech is so fucking important. Never be afraid of offending somebody. The whole point of freedom of speech is that you're free to offend people, not that you're free from not being offended. You're gonna get offended. Life fucking happens. So just keep fucking talking. Keep spreading what you think, your opinions everywhere, and just let yourself be heard. That's
Yeah.
this is all about.
I mean, bravo, Maxine. That was perfectly stated.
Mhm.
Um, and when I wrote that letter, like, I'm not joking. I did the first thing that popped into my head when I was, thinking of, well, what would Max want to say, was literally nihilism is retarded and gay. Keep believing in the USA. Like, that was Max. That was one of the last things that he and I talked about on the show, was that, like, the Tucker Carlsons of the world and the Candace Owens, and then on the flip side, the CNNs and the media, they're all gonna try and drag you into the pit of despair, because that's how they make their money. They thrive on negativity. Um, keep having conversations, but also, like, you know, like, just don't be an asshole, to people that you meet in real life, and talk to people.
Yeah.
And also, I know Max would have wanted me to bring this up, like, if we had a show on Wednesday, but, like, he was super excited. He told me multiple times, and I'm sure, Maxine, he had told you, he was really hyped for America's 250th.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, really hyped.
Yeah,
And
he really was. That's why it sucks so much how, when everything happened.
yeah, yeah, I mean, it was this past 4th of July was, like, simultaneously one of the best and the worst 4th of, like, holiday I've experienced, like, at the same time, because of
It
this
was
whole
really bittersweet.
whole thing. But like Max was the ultimate America fuck yeah guy. Um that I knew, and, like, I believe that, yeah, America has faced, like, plenty of shit. But, like, I do feel like overall things are kind of starting to, like, be a little better, as far as, like, people are talking to each other. Like, there are obviously the weirdos, like, online, but, like, people are talking. Um, like, people people I know in real life, um, like, they wanna know why I've been absent, and I kinda told, them what happened, and, like, they were, like, deeply, like, I don't wanna say, like, saddened as we were, but, like, they offered me condolences and wanted me to extend condolences to his family. So, we don't live in as divided of a society as the media portrays, and I think that that's something that Max would have really wanted us to state. So, um, that, and he also would have insisted on everyone buying my book, so please do that. But,
And make sure that you go to Suno and you check out Blame Max Sand and you listen to all the music that he put up, and go to his Spotify and listen to the music that he's published. Some of mine is up there too.
yeah.
And my Suno, Maxine Sand, there's stuff that I have of his and ours that we've worked on that I haven't published. So I'm gonna be trying to publish some of that stuff and keep going. So if
The
I'm gonna keep going, y'all keep going.
Yeah, the other thing too, and if there are any, like, video people who are, like, knowledgeable on this, um, I would like I'm putting this out there kind of, like, in, the ether, but if there's anyone who knows, of like a good platform besides Rumble. I've heard Odyssey is a good platform to like archive stuff. Basically,
Yep.
what I'm asking is, I know Max had some of his old content archived, but like I've been watching some of his old like Maxian position videos, some of which
Yep.
are not on Rumble, and like even his old content that like I wasn't here for, like I think that should still be preserved along with like the cringe coffee house stuff. So
And probably here soon, I want to make the best of the Cringe Coffee House.
well, Tim, you're like the perfect one to like, take care of that. And so yeah, like we're gonna keep carrying on Max's legacy and like preserving his work as best
And
we can.
let's just say that the last cringing over coffee episode hasn't come out yet.
Ooh. Now I'm
Ooh.
intrigued. I didn't even know this. This is breaking news. But anyway, I'll let Maxine have the last word on the show. So
Uh, well, I just want to thank everyone that came on and, said stuff about Max and shared memories and stories and everything. I want to thank anyone that's, been watching. Um, it's been really difficult, but I know that Max would definitely want us all to keep this stuff going. He wouldn't want, he wouldn't want Sam to stop writing his books or anybody to stop making any content that they're making. And yeah, stupid car. Sorry, I'm outside. Uh, um, yeah, he doesn't want you guys to stop talking, even if it's someone that has a different, political view than you or just different life view. Just talk to people, and it's what we need. We need more of talking to each other and understanding each other, and to stop letting the idiot bullshit divide us. And that's one thing that Max said a lot, and it's kind of what I want to leave you guys with is, just remember what Max said. Talk to people, keep sharing opinions, don't be afraid to offend somebody. Freedom of speech is so important. That's that it can that means I'm done.
okay. I wasn't sure if you got rumbled or what again.
Yeah.
But anyway, well that was beautifully said. Um and yeah, like regarding my books, I do have more like, you know, works in progress. I've already got like some stuff like that I'm writing for next year. And like I said, Vengeance in Venezuela out now. Available in paperback, and like yeah, I don't even have my own like, I have the preprint like edition. Um but oh, that's not what I wanted. Um so yeah, here it is in paperback. The ebook is available. We'll have more stuff as I mentioned, more stuff coming out, but please pick this up because now I can say that Max would want everyone to read this, and I'm sad that you won't be able to see how the whole series ends in the future, but I know I definitely will have a book dedicated to him. in the future as well. So, more. I know that we'll be doing something for Bits and Bones. Any other announcements regarding that?
Not really. We're just gonna do some reminiscing about Max on Friday, and sure, there's gaming news, but that's really gonna be secondary.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
we can get Core on.
I'm
yeah,
gonna try.
yeah. There were some people who we wanted to have on tonight who couldn't make it, but we really appreciate everyone who did come on. And like this is the main tribute show, but I'm sure we'll have tributes, you know, for the foreseeable future. Um, so Mac's legacy continues to live on, and his legacy is Right to Offend Media. And I'm honored to kind of help take the helm in his
Yeah.
honor. So I want to thank everyone who came out to chat about Max tonight, and I want to thank you, the audience, for tuning in, whether that be live or in the podcast format. I'm Sam Whitfield, signing off on behalf of my dear brother in arms, Max Sand, and Maxine, Timmy, uh, and Morpheus, and Shmuley and Craig. Thank you all for and Chibi. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. And well, I'll try and be back next week with a show. But until then, take care. God bless, and man, hold those close to you a little tighter because you really don't know when your time is up.
We're
So,
never guaranteed tomorrow. We'll make
yeah,
with what you
amen.
got for today.
So,
I
good
couldn't have
night.
put any of that better myself. Absolutely. Just
Amen.
make sure you do tell your loved ones that you love them. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't know the last time you're going to get to say something to them. And, yeah, don't have regrets. I have.
So, well, good night, everyone, and take care.